Did you see the slap Will Smith gave comedian Chris Rock during the 94th Oscar Awards? Does that mean that Chris Rock is suing the famous actor? You probably thought that the 94th Oscar Awards would go down the way they usually do each year. But who thought that things would take such an interesting turn? Unless you live under a rock, you must have heard about the infamous slap. Will Smith walked to the stage when Chris made fun of his wife's bald head and promptly slapped him. In today's video, we'll dissect the entire scenario and some of the events that may have led to it. Why did the slap happen in the first place? The night the 94th Oscar Awards happened was not the first time Chris Rock made a joke about his friends Will and Jada, but it may very well be the last. Chris said, "I love you, G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it." Now, if you're confused about what that means and how it escalated to the now famous slap, then you should know that Demi Moore, who's an actress in Hollywood as well, shaved her head for a role in a film known as G.I. Jane. Jada Pinkett has a strikingly similar haircut, but the thing is, she did not cut her hair for a role or do it for fashion. She suffers from alopecia and is losing hair. Now, Chris Rock is a comedian, so that he can get away with jokes. But this particular one may have gone a little bit too far. Will's known to be overprotective of his family, so it doesn't surprise us that he reacted the way he did. We would have probably done the same. When he made that joke, Will stood up from his seat and walked to the stage, where he slapped the comedian straight across the face. Chris was then heard saying, "Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me." Will then proceeded back to his seat, where he repeatedly told Chris to keep his wife's name out of his mouth.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
It's important to note that when Chris made the joke, Will was seen clapping and even giggling. But that changed after he noticed his wife rolling her eyes, meaning that she wasn't impressed. That is when he stormed to the stage and did the necessary. We cannot blame him for the reaction. After all, Jada is his life partner, and it's not acceptable to make jokes of that nature, especially when there's a possibility that it could dent his wife's self-esteem. Chris allegedly vowed in the past never to joke about his friends. In the world of comedy, there are many unwritten but widely accepted rules. One of them is that you don't joke about your friends in public. Chris Rock and Will Smith have been very close friends for a long time, and the two were at the peak of their careers during the 90s. Rock has always admired his friend's work ethic, especially how he could seamlessly transition from one job to another. There was also a time when Rock thought that only his friend had what it took to make him laugh. Because he respects his friend, Rock decided that he would never joke about Smith in public. Rock once said that he would not make fun of Smith because it would be disrespectful to his family. He felt that Smith was such a great person that joking about him in public would not be correct. Well, it looks like Rock is not one to keep his promises, judging from the numerous jokes he's made about his friends in the past up to the one that he did recently. Will and Jada were there for Chris during the hard times. Smith and Rock have been friends for years. Smith, who's married to actress Jada Pinkett Smith, joined forces with his wife to help Rock get through one of the most challenging times. When Chris got divorced, we were there for him, Smith told James Corbin in an episode of Carpool Karaoke. Chris was going through a rough divorce from Malak Compton Rock. It was really rough, and we wanted to be there for him. Smith said he and Pinkett Smith reached out to Rock to make sure he was okay. So we started hanging out, and he was getting divorced, and we were saying, "You know what? This is the best thing that ever happened to you," Smith continued. He's like, "What?" We're like, "Yeah, man, now you can be happy." After Rock's divorce, the comedian was hesitant to date again due to his previous failed marriage. But after a while, the top 5 star decided it was time to start putting himself out there again. "I'm going to meet women in the world," Rock told Smith during their dinner together in the episode of The Dinner Party. Chris had something to say about Will wishing his ex-wife a happy birthday. TMZ caught up with Rock in 2018 and asked for his thoughts on Will Smith wishing his ex-wife Cherie Zampino a happy birthday on social media. "I'm out here in the streets, man," Rock said while laughing. "I wasn't expecting that." The comedian brought up that Smith is currently married to Jada Pinkett Smith and said he didn't understand what the actor was doing by posting a message to Zampino. "My man's out there like he's single or something," he continued. "It's just like, oh my god, because I'm kinda single right now, and I wouldn't be posting no old flames." Then Rock said what many of us have been thinking about the entire situation. I don't know if it's a PR move or whatever. Smith posted his birthday wishes on Instagram, along with a photo of himself and Zampino from back when they were together. The pair were married from '92 to '95 and share one son, Trey Smith. Rock once joked about the Smiths boycotting the Oscars. When Will Smith and his wife Jada Pinkett Smith announced they were boycotting the Oscars because of their lack of diversity, the news was met with praise and support. But one person who took issue with their decision was Chris Rock, who hosted the ceremony. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Rock said he thought the boycott was a publicity stunt, that Smith and his wife aren't activists, and that he didn't know they should have been nominated in the first place. The comedian even stated that Jada boycotting the event would be compared to him boycotting Rihanna's panties. "We don't know about you, but we would have taken offense to that." Rock said he first heard about the boycott from Pinkett Smith herself. "I'm like, oh, that's not good," Rock told THR. "Will's making a couple movies. It feels like he's positioning for an Oscar. He called the boycott a tough position for her to be in. Jada's going to vote for him," Rock continued. "What else is she going to do? It's not fair that Will was this good in Concussion and didn't get nominated." Pinkett Smith's performance in Magic Mike XXL wasn't Oscar-worthy either. Rock implied, "We're talking about an actor nomination, not best friend or anything like that." During the Oscar ceremony, Denzel Washington spoke to both host Chris Rock and Jada Pinkett Smith. When the telecast resumed, Vanity Fair's Rebecca Ford tweeted seeing Washington leaving next to Pinkett Smith with his arm around her. Jada's husband, Will Smith, stood beside them, smiling and chatting with a third person who has not yet been identified. It was reported that the mood inside the Dolby Theater had curdled, and the audience was distracted and confused going forward. The LAPD said in a statement that Rock declined to press charges. During the same hour in which he won an Oscar for his work in King Richard, Smith also won a Tony Award for his role as Richard Williams. He was seen crying during his acceptance speech and said that he was being called upon in life to love people, protect people, and be a river to them. He praised Washington's role in helping him prepare for the role of King Richard, saying that Washington told him right before he went on stage that he should say thank you. Smith also apologized to the Academy and his fellow nominees, thanking producer George Lucas and director David O. Russell. The Academy stated on March 28th, condemning the actions of Will Smith at that night's award show. The Academy condemns the actions of Mr. Smith at last night's show. We have officially started a formal review around the incident. We will explore further action and consequences per our bylaws, standards of conduct, and California law. SAG-AFTRA also condemned Smith's behavior and said that it would work to ensure this behavior is appropriately addressed. However, the union would not comment on any pending member disciplinary process. Well, there you have it, folks. That's what we had for you today. What do you think about Will's behavior? Was he justified in slapping Chris Rock? Let us know in the comments section. Give the video a like and consider subscribing as well. We'll see you at our next one.